Are the Buffalo Bills going to trade for Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp? Rumors are swirling as the Rams are trying to shop their veteran wide receiver. My name is Harrison Graham. Welcome into the Bills Breakdown. We're going to talk all things Cooper Kupp, plus a longtime Bill has retired. We'll talk about that as well. This is why you subscribe. If the Bills make a trade, we're going to have you covered with the video. I can promise you that. We are closing in on 1,000 subscribers. Once we get there, we can do even more content. We're doing 4 or 5 videos per week. We'll jump closer to daily videos once we pass 1,000 subscribers. So rock and roll with us here on the Bills Breakdown. We'll continue to bring you content. Okay, Cooper Kupp on social media putting this out there yesterday. Quote, I was informed that the team will be seeking a trade immediately and will be working with me and my family to find the right place to continue competing for championships. I don't agree with the decision and always believed it was going to begin and end in LA. Well, there's a couple of reasons why it's coming to an end early, if you will, for Cooper Kupp in LA. One is injuries and decline in production. Injuries, of course, have been a large contributor to the decline in production just from time missed. But even when he's healthy and plays, he's just not the same guy that he was in 2021. Now, that doesn't mean he's not a good player. Doesn't mean he can't contribute for a team. But he is a low-end wide receiver 2, high-end wide receiver 3 that's getting wide receiver 1 money. That is the second part of this. His cap hit for the Rams this year would be $30 million if they keep him. And if he's not willing to take a pay cut, well, they have no choice but to try and trade him or ultimately cut him, which I think could happen. More on that in a little bit. But you look at teams that could make sense. The latest betting odds have the Bills right there, plus 400 to add him to this roster. You got other wide receiver needed teams as well, like the Chargers, Steelers, Broncos, and Raiders in the mix. Obviously, for Buffalo, they took a swing on Amari Cooper. That didn't really work out. I like Khalil Shakir. I think Keon Coleman can continue to develop and be that guy. Curtis Samuel didn't give them much in year 1 of a 3-year contract, so we'll see. Matt Collins also a free agent. So, a trio of Shakir, Coleman, and Cooper Kupp is intriguing. I don't think you have a true number 1 in that scenario unless Shakir or Coleman really gets there. But you kind of have like 3 wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 types. Hopefully Samuel bounces back and then you have a good core 4. But if you think you're getting superstar Cooper Kupp, that's not really the case. In fact, a lot of people would argue his best attribute at this point is as a run blocker, which in the Bills' offense is valuable because they run the ball with Josh Allen and James Cook quite a bit. Should the Bills trade for Cooper Kupp? What say you? Type T for trade or P for pass. Get your votes in the comment section below. For me, it's pretty clear. I'm not trading for Cooper Kupp because, little fun fact here, any team that trades for Cooper Kupp brings on a $20 million dead cap hit. Now, or not dead cap hit, regular cap hit. Kupp's cap hits, if he stays with the Rams, are as follows: 29.8, 27.3. Team trading for him doesn't take on that much. It's $20 million this year, and then they can basically get out of his contract the next year if they cut him. So it's really just the $20 million this year you'd have to worry about. But that's a lot. Like, $20 million cap hit is just under 10% of your cap. And for a player who, again, who's a fringe 2-3 wide receiver, like he's not a number 1. That's a big number for a guy who misses times, doesn't separate like he used to, and is just past his prime in general. And the Bills are kind of money strapped. They can't take on a $20 million cap hit right now. I mean, even if they moved a bunch of money around to do it, they'd basically have no other money left. Like, their whole offseason would be Cooper Kupp. Like, to me, that's not enough to try and bridge the gap between yourself and Kansas City. If he becomes a free agent, if he gets cut, which I think is very possible, that's a different story. Now, Ian Rappaport is saying that the Rams are willing to eat some of the money on Cooper Kupp's contract. So you're like, oh, Harrison, if they eat some of the money, we're good. That's the cash. That's what he is owed as a player, not what the cap hit is. Unless he agrees to a full pay cut or restructure with the Rams, the cap hit is the cap hit. That's just how it is. Unless some of his salary is converted into a signing bonus by the team trading him, you're taking on $20 million. So I think that's kind of a non-starter. I think the reason this is so public is because the Rams are trying to get his name out there like, hey, will one team take on this contract? And maybe there's a team out there. There's a few teams with over $100 million, like the Patriots, like the Commanders, that could use a wide receiver. So maybe they would just do it. But if I'm the Bills, I'm hoping he hits free agency. I mean, this is a guy who's hurt a lot now. It's unfortunate because when he's healthy, he's still a good player, but he's not a great player, and he's not a great player that also misses time. So that combination to me can't equate to a $20 million cap hit. So that's a little troubling given his health issues in recent years. And again, that's why I would like to – I'll take my chances and see if he hits free agency, see if he gets cut. And if not, I'll pursue a wide receiver elsewhere. Like Cooper Kupp is not to die for at this point in his career. Again, nice player. I think he'd help out Josh Allen. He'd help in the run game too. He could teach some of these young guys a thing or two about becoming a pro. No question. Is that worth $20 million? Like, you're happy if he plays 12 games and gives you 700 yards. That's not $20 million. It just isn't. That's like $10 million if you can get that kind of production. So we'll see what happens here. I kind of think he's going to get cut, if I'm being completely honest. Here from Kenneth Arthur of the Turf Show Times saying if a team acquires Kupp's $20 million, that alone makes him the 15th highest paid receiver in 2025. However, several players ahead of him will be released, traded, or take pay cuts. At the end of the day, Kupp's $20 million would end up as a top 10 cap hit in the NFL for a receiver, which is nowhere close to where he is as a player anymore. Instead, his best bet would be to try to emulate the path of Adam Thielen, where he was cut by the Vikings and signed with the Panthers. I think it's a great comp. Now, whenever they have Thielen or Kupp right now, I'd probably take Kupp. Adam Thielen got 3 years and $25 million. It's like $8 million a year, $14 million guaranteed. Now, I think you'd probably be looking at a 1 or 2 year deal, slightly more than $8 million per year. Like, I don't know, 1 year, $10 million bucks. Like maybe incentives to 12 if he reaches 1,000 yards or something like that, and plays at a level that you'd say, okay, yeah, that's worth $12 million bucks. I think that's what you're looking at. Fully guarantee it, $10 million, or make 8 guaranteed, whatever the case may be. That to me is what I would pay Cooper Kupp, because he's a good run blocker and a decent low end to high end number 3 receiver. Those guys don't make $20 million. That's just how it goes. So again, we'll see how it plays out. It only takes one team to bite, but if I were betting on it, I'd bet that he gets cut. I don't think he's going to fetch that on the trade market. What contract would you guys give Cooper Kupp if he entered free agency? Like if he became available, would you give him $10 million bucks? Would you give him a multi-year deal? To me, 1 year deal kind of feels like 2025 is going to be an all-in year for the Bills anyway. Give him a good 1 year deal and try to go win. Okay, a little news as we get out of here. Micah Hyde is officially retiring from the NFL after 12 seasons. Obviously, late in the season, came back to help this team out. Bills put this out. Thank you, 23. Really good run for a cornerstone player with Buffalo. It's a shame he didn't get to a Super Bowl with the Bills, but, definitely some good seasons, and we wish him the best in his retirement. Show Micah Hyde some love. Get the 2 3s down in the comments. The real 23. I mean, we all know no other athlete that's more well known has worn 23 in any sport. I mean, Micah Hyde is known as Mr. 23. But in all seriousness, show Micah Hyde some love. Get the 23s down in the comment section below. And again, on the way out, hit that subscribe button here on the Bills Breakdown. We will continue to pump you guys out with some videos, so stay tuned for that. Let's get to 1,000 subs ASAP.